March 15th. March 15th was the day that this channel I took a right turn on the channel into an unknown path, and I wasn't sure where it was going to go. I wasn't sure what was in store. March 14th, I had 96 subscribers, guys. And I was so appreciative for those 96 subscribers. You know, the fact that 96 people, let alone 50, would want to watch my mediocrity, me being an idiot, you know, whether it's in gaming, whether it's my reactions that I had to Marvel stuff or TV shows or movies. The fact that there were 96 people that wanted to know when I was posting, like, that meant the world to me. So I want to say that because this next part, you know, my son was supposed to be born on February 24th, which he was, and I had intended right around the beginning of February to take a break from my channel because the growth stopped. I was stuck at 96 for 3 months. And while, like I said, I was super happy that I had those people. You need to see growth, because if you're standing still, then, you know, you're not moving forward. So I took a long, hard look at what I wanted to do with the channel for the, you know, for a month. I said my goodbyes on my last Twitch stream, knowing full well that it probably was my last steady stream. The 3 years of Twitch just didn't work out, and I had to bite the bullet and switch gears and focus on YouTube, which I did. I had a group think with friends, some of my IRL friends, some of my content creator friends, asking for help. Like, what should I do? What do I need to do to help get this channel to have steady growth? Like, even if it's 1 subscriber a day, like, that was my goal. 1 subscriber a day and I'll be happy. But sitting at the same for 3 months, something's wrong. I need to do something. And, you know, I take a lot of pride in what I do, especially when I put, obviously, reaction content. Let's face it, guys. Reaction content doesn't take too much work, right? You turn the camera on, you watch a video, you say, you laugh, you ooh and ah, and then if you have knowledge in a certain aspect, you exude that knowledge onto your audience. What is happening with the camera? Oh no, please help me. Let me turn this off. There we go. While reaction content is content, it can be one of the easier types of content. But while I was putting in work, and to not see growth was kind of frustrating. I wanted to find a way to revitalize my love for content creation, because it was starting to get stale for me. When you don't see growth, when you don't see fruit from your labor, you don't want to keep doing that. It's like any job, right? Not that this is a job, because I don't do this to make money, but you get what I'm saying. When you put work into anything, you want to see the fruits of your labor. You want to see results from that. For a long time, you know, this bad boy has been sitting here as a decoration. And when my daughter was born 6 years ago, I quit playing music of all forms because I wanted to focus on family, getting a better job, to get a better home, to provide for my family, the normal stuff. Now I have a lot of downtime. I work from home, so I can take breaks when I need to. And I wanted to learn how to relearn how to play the guitar. And I wanted to incorporate that into my YouTube channel. I want music to be part of my YouTube channel. I'm a music lover. I have a music degree. Like, it's my heart and soul. Music drives me. Music fuels my emotions. You guys know that. If you saw my How to Be Me chalk outlines, especially my crush reaction, like, music moves me in ways that other things do not. So I wanted to find a way to put music into my channel. So this whole group think with friends and other content creators that I'm good friends with was to kind of push ideas out there. And we ultimately came to terms with, like, well, what's the easiest transition for me that also allows me to do that? I've been doing reaction content. Why not just do music reactions? Just do a slight shift in the road, right? Keep going forward, but move a little bit diagonally. Keep that momentum going, but in a slightly different direction. So that's what we did. Or that's what I did. I decided I'm going to start out this music journey on my YouTube with reactions and see how it goes. But I had no idea. I had no idea where to start. Should I do a band I've heard of but haven't heard a song? Should I, you know, do an unknown artist? What should I do? Like, what should I do? And my friend James Lawson, that you've seen in the comments, he sent me, he's like, look, trust me on this. Do this artist. You will thank me, if not just for the impact it might have on your channel, but the impact it will have on your life. Just please watch this video, react to it. You do this as your first one, and I guarantee you, you will not suffer from it. I did that. And March 14th, I sat down, extremely nervous, with my anxiety taking me over to the point where I was a little bit shaky, didn't want to do it. This means a huge change. I could fail. I could lose the 96 subscribers that I've built to this time. That's essentially 3 years of work on my channel that could go away. I took a deep breath, took a sip of water, and I pushed the record button. And from that moment on, the template for this channel came about. And you know, I was still so nervous about I'll say this. I watched the video, I reacted to it. At the very least, I said this artist is something that Ren needs to be in the forefront. And I mentioned it in that video. It was a masterpiece in art, the artistic. I talked about his artistry and how he needs to be well known. I said, if anybody watches this video, make sure that you go and you support this guy, because he's an amazing artist that could change lives. And but you know, after that, I was excited with what I found with the artist that was brought on to me. After that, I didn't know what my viewership for that video was going to be like. I was so nervous again after recording because of what it might mean for my channel that I uploaded it to YouTube. I put in all of the parameters, did a thumbnail real quickly, put it out there. I closed my browser and I started playing video games with friends, and I was like, I'll check it in a couple hours, see where it's at. If it fails, then I'm where I was at. If it doesn't fail, then cool. And I think it was like 2 hours in, I looked and I was at like 400 views already in 2 hours. And I literally was like updating my phone, because that's how I was looking, to see if it was like a glitch or something. And it wasn't. 6 hours later, I think I was at like 600 views. 8 hours later, I was at 800 views. So it was, the growth on that was crazy. And I think to this day, I have to look, but I think to this day, that video still has given me the most subscribers. It's still my most viewed video. I got to look at it though. Yeah, so it's at 27K views now. And since it's published, I don't know if you guys can see that. It says 956 subscribers I've gained since it was published. One video changed the trajectory of not only this channel, but honestly my life. I want to talk about Ren really fast, because without him, this whole thing would have not worked. I've had videos in the past that went over about 300 views, only 3 of them. 2 of them were flashes in the pan, meaning it was a hot topic at the time. I posted it at the right time with the right type of thumbnail. I just did everything correctly, timing wise, for that. One of them was the reaction to Black Panther 2 trailer, which was a huge thing after, you know, the main actor's death and people wanting to know what was happening. So people kind of gravitated to that, and it led to more viewership. But other than that, everything was pretty much under 300 views. So this came into play, and ever since, minus a couple videos, I haven't had anything under 300 views. Average, I think, on my channel is about 1.2K, which is ridiculous to me. So without Ren, without High Ren being my first music reaction, this channel wouldn't be where it's at today. But I want to talk about the higher impact that Ren has had and that this channel has had on my overall life. I've had the last 18 months for me has been pretty ridiculous. I found out about like lifehood trauma that I didn't even know I had since I was 4 years old up to now, of trauma that I've had that I didn't even know, and coming to terms with that and finding out I've had general anxiety my whole life, almost depression. And I have had bouts of depression in the past, but like throughout my whole life, I've had general anxiety. What it stems from, why in arguments I shut down, not shut down in action, but just I can't speak, or I don't want to speak in arguments, where that stems from, and from my past and all these things. It was almost like a lifetime worth of issues piled into about 18 months that I figured out along the way. I won't say I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the channel, but I definitely wouldn't be as optimistic as I am without the channel. Part of that is being able to use this channel as therapy. Like the amount of tears that I've cried just on 3 songs alone from this channel has been ridiculous. Crutch being the main one. But that's therapy for me. It's therapy to go through those emotions and talk about and kind of unleash on you guys what, like you guys are my therapist, right? That's helpful to me. That's helpful to my well-being. And that in turn, my vulnerability me opening up to you guys and being able to relate helps others. I had somebody, I think it was my crutch reaction, but somebody basically said, like, you know, they watch reactions every day to escape life. He was having a particularly extremely bad day. You know, he was thinking about ending his life, and you know, he went on to look for reactions to that song because in that particular moment he felt like that song was super relatable. He ran into my reaction. He saw how emotional I was. He saw how vulnerable I was, and that gave him life. He said, you know, to be able to be that vulnerable and allow others to see you at that vulnerability showed that I have a chance. I have a chance to live. And basically, like, said that that reaction helped him get through the day. And that impacts to me is weird. It's so, like, it's an out-of-body experience to realize that my channel has had that effect on somebody. And I always say, like, if I can help one person through their day, that's a success. But I don't actually believe that I could do that I have the capacity to do that. So it's very strange. It's a very strange dynamic that I'm still wrapping my head around. Like, realize that March 15th, when that video dropped, was only like 3 months ago, almost exactly 3 months ago. These are things that I'm still trying to figure out in my head, how I'm able to do this, right? And this isn't me saying, oh, look, my channel is changing lives. It's more of like, it's more like it's giving me drive to keep going on the channel. If it's one thing to have views, people liking your stuff. Oh, look, this guy's funny. Ha ha ha. It's another to understand that you have an impact on other people and you're able to help people through hard times. Like, that is a gift in and of itself to me. And I can't believe that I'm able to do that. I want to talk about Ren really quickly. He revitalized my outlook on music in today's world. You know, I thought long gone were the days of, like, you know, Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, the bands that changed the dynamic of music. And I thought mainstream music, I still think mainstream music is kind of this cluster of, let's take this pretty face who's semi-talented, let's mold them to the music that we want them to be into, that we want for our company, and make them play what we want them to play. Let's try to get them to do what we want them to do. Have this template that we know works. And, you know, obviously I listened to underground music in college, and that's where I was like, this music is 10 times better than what's on the radio. Why am I even listening to the radio? You know, my mentality on music was just not very good, to say the least. And anytime somebody would be like, listen to this new artist, I was just like, I have no drive to listen. And I did. And for the most part, some of them were okay. A lot of them were kind of between indie and mainstream. They had just been signed. Like, look at this new artist. And I just wasn't for it. My faith in music had died. And I think that's also part of the reason I stopped playing guitar, was the stuff that people like are not something that I can give them. So why do I want to keep playing, right? But then I ran across Ren, man. And from there on, like, the impact he has emotionally and the artistry and the masterclass in music writing and lyric writing, the rapping, the guitar playing, the beatboxing, you know, I haven't seen the busking yet, but people say he's great at that stuff too. It's just like, he's an all-encompassing artist that's once in a lifetime. And even though that's like the tippy top of talent, and there's a spectrum in between, right? The Ren's way up here. This is god-awful mainstream. You guys can't see. Yeah. This is Ren. This is god-awful mainstream. There's people in between here that are worth checking out. And I'm realizing that now. I thought this was the mainstream. There's maybe one or two people or one or two artists a year that are going to fit right over that I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm finding that there's a bunch of artists in this spectrum here that are amazing. And that's one of them, right? And I've only seen a couple, but that's one of them. Ginger is one of those crazy technical and amazing, masterful musicians, and Tatiana singing. There's you know, Tom McDonald. While I don't agree with all of his politics and stuff, but he creates music and talks about it in his music in a way that's people understand and relate to. That's important. And there's just so many different things that I'm finding out, and I'm looking at music in a different way now that I didn't used to. Before, I would just listen. I'm like, oh, that's a cool riff, or that's a cool line. Now I'm like analyzing lyrics. I'm analyzing, why are they going from this chord to this chord? Why is the time signature changing here and here? What does it mean? So it's changed my perspective, not only on music, but on life. And I have Ren really to thank for that. And I have you guys to thank for that. You know, your comments on Hi Ren and talking about, look at this aspect, look at this aspect, the lights, all these things. Now, every time I watch a video, I'm looking at everything, trying to figure out what it means. Even if there's nothing there, you know, I'm almost putting stuff in or putting aspects into something that's not really there. But the last thing here is I want to thank you guys. I could create the funniest videos and have the most artistic videos, which these videos aren't artistic really at all, but it's reaction content. I could do all of that, and if I get 0 views, it doesn't mean anything really. The fact that you guys have been out there, and a lot of you have told me, you know, I came here for Ren, or I came here for NF or whatever, and I stayed for you, is very humbling. It's a very much an out-of-body experience, and I don't understand it, honestly. I rewatch it pretty much every video I make. I wasn't able to rewatch my crutch one because I tried and I started crying, and I'm not gonna do that. Pussy. But I rewatch every video that I make, and I critique everything. I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, oh, I don't like what I said there, or I don't like the cadence I used there, or I don't like that I missed this aspect of the song, or I don't like I talked about this instead of that aspect of the song. I nitpick everything. And you know, you guys always have positive things to say. Obviously there's negative comments, right? But for every negative comment, there's like 100, 150 positive comments. So I think there's more positivity, so that's a good thing. It's just the community that's been built through this channel has been very good and very humbling. The Discord is great because there's people in there that have just been talking about their issues and venting, and it's been great to have not only a community of people who are empathetic and sympathetic, which I thought didn't exist anymore, but to also just have people understand each other, have fun, be able to communicate. And you know, I really do appreciate you guys for allowing me to have a therapeutic channel that could also be therapy for others. So I just wanted to post this video because it's kind of 3 months back reflecting on everything that's happened on this channel, and it's very out of body experience for me to look at where I was at the 96 subscribers to where I am today. It's just amazing. So you guys are amazing. And look, last thing I want to say is there's been a couple of you have been saying that, like, you really hope Ren sees my stuff and that he promotes me. Like, that would be so cool if he did, but I don't expect any of that stuff, to be honest. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of reactors out there. There's so many reactors out there that are way more energetic than me and bring so much more to the table in regards to energy and being funny and being so analytical. Like, Charismatic Voice is both bubbly, funny, and just super, super, super informative, right? And I try to be funny, but I also try to be informative. But my social anxiety gets the best of me, so it's hard for me to constantly be that person. It just is. So, you know, a lot of videos I push the upload button, and I really don't like that I'm doing it because I'm not a fan of the video, and then you guys come and squash the view count and tell me how great it is. So look, I don't fucking know what's good and what's not. I guess I just know that if I talk about a song in an informative way and in maybe a different way than other people do, that you guys enjoy that. So I'm gonna keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, that's all I got. Ren, thank you for expanding my mind, healing me, and just healing others for everything that you do. I think you are an inspiration, both musically, both as a person. Your story is amazing. Remember you guys, like, it does not hurt you to be nice to somebody. So thank you guys for being so empathetic, sympathetic to me, towards the community, for helping me heal. And hopefully I was able to help you guys do some sort of healing in return. So that's all I got for today. No send off, no cool catchphrase. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I love you.